guys! Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for stopping by. So since Halloween is fast approaching, I decided to create a makeup look that is perfect for the Halloween season. So I'll be starting off with my primer. This is the e.l.f. Putty Primer and I'll just put that on the areas that I have large pores and I tend to get oily. I'll apply that using my fingers. If you haven't tried this primer yet, I highly suggest for you to try it because it's really good. By the way, I'm just zooming you guys in for you to see it better. Moving on with the next step, so I'll be putting on my favorite foundation and I'll just give it a good shake and put few pumps on the back of my hand and put it all over my face. Actually, my original plan is to do a talk-through makeup tutorial, but unfortunately, it's raining cats and dogs, so I had to do voiceovers because there's a lot of background noise in this video. So, yeah. And here, I'm just playing some music, and I'll get my favorite sponge or makeup sponge, and I'll blend everything on my face using that. I really don't know why my foundation looks a lot lighter here, but trust me, this is actually my perfect shade because I'm acidic, so it will oxidize later. The next step is optional, but I like to do spot concealing, especially on the areas that I have dark spots because as you see a while ago, I do have a lot of that. So I have to cover them up since the foundation didn't really cover them up totally. So I'll just put that on the areas where I need it and I'll blend that using the same sponge. It's now time to highlight / conceal, so I'll be using a lighter shade of concealer and I'll focus that on my under eye since as you can see I have a dark under eye bags, and I'll also put some on the sides of my mouth, the bridge of my nose, my chin, the middle of my forehead, and I'll blend that using the same sponge again. As you can see, you cannot see any dark spots anymore, except the one in the middle of my forehead because that's a live pimple. But I'll be setting everything in place using my Naturactor powder. This is a lighter shade of loose powder, so I'll just focus this on my under eye, the bridge of my nose, my chin, and also in the middle of my forehead. And I'll be using a separate or a different powder for the outer parts of my face, which is this. So this is a banana powder. As you can see, it's kind of yellowish as compared to the first one that I used, but I like using that on the outer perimeters of my face. Do not freak out if you see that I'm putting a lot because I'll brush it all off with this powder brush just to make sure that all the excess powder are removed, but you can leave it as long as you want. So it's kind of like what we call baking method. I look like a white lady, I know, but let's fix that by using this contour palette from e.l.f. I'll be mixing the 3 lighter shades here and apply that using a fluffy brush. And as you can see, I'm just putting that on the outer perimeters of my face and also anywhere that I need warmth on my face. It's time to contour. So for this part, I'll be using a different brush. This is an angled brush and as you can see, it's smaller as compared to the brush that I used for bronzing since contouring is more precise as compared to bronzing. I'll just put that on my cheekbones. And as you can see here, I went back to the brush that I used for bronzing since I want to make sure that everything is well blended. Because we don't want harsh lines, right girls? Since my forehead is as wide as an airport, I have to contour that as well for it to appear smaller. And I also put some on my jawline And here I'm using a different product for my nose contour. This is actually an eyebrow powder, but I'll be using the lighter shade, or I mean the lightest shade in this palette to contour my nose. This shade is super perfect for nose contour. This is not reddish. This is just the perfect color. The focus is real on this part. As you can see, I'm taking time contouring my nose because I am not blessed with a perfect nose, so I have to fake it till I make it. But if you already have a good nose or a perfect nose, you can really skip this part if you want to. Let me just zoom you guys in for you to see what I'm going to do with my eyebrows. I'll start off with brushing my eyebrows up using a spoolie, and I'll just use the same eyebrow product that I used for my nose, but I'll be using the darker shades. I mix the brown shade and also the black shade and apply that on my eyebrows. I actually like the bushy look on my eyebrows. I don't really like the American style eyebrows because I think that it doesn't suit me at all. So yeah, as you can see, I applied it and I just kept on brushing after I applied the product just to make sure that everything is well blended. And I also have this eyebrow pen here wherein you can do hair-like strokes, but you just have to make sure that you're light-handed with this one. Blending is key, so let's keep on blending. And as you can see, I'm already done with this side, so let me just do the other side off camera and I'm back. Now I'm going to use this brow soap to achieve the bushy brow effect, and oops, I sprayed something on my face, but I'm supposed to spray that on the brow soap just to wet it a little bit so it would be easier for me to apply the brow soap on my eyebrows. Here I'm just using a spoolie to apply the brow soap, and I'm just brushing my eyebrow hairs up to achieve that bushy kind of effect, and I'll clean the edges using a concealer. We're now on the fun part. So we'll be doing the eyeshadow using this James Charles X Morphe palette, and this is how it looks like. I'll be putting a screenshot of what I'm using and just focus on the X mark on the palette so that you would know what shade am I using. But I'm using this light brown shade and apply that on my crease using a fluffy blending brush. One tip that I can give to you guys regarding eyeshadow is for you to take your time. Take your time blending the colors and take your time building the colors up. Do not rush or else it will look unblended and uneven. After the transition shade, I'll be using the pink shade from this palette, and I'll be using a smaller blending brush for this and apply that just below on where I put the transition shade a while ago. And for this one, take your time. As you can see, the color is not yet opaque because I'm slowly building it up. Here I used the same brush that I used for the transition shade. I kept on using that because I want to make sure that the pink and the brown shade or the transition shade will blend together very well. Afterwards, I'll get a different brush again. This time it's a smaller fluffy brush, and I'll use 2 shades of purple in the palette and apply that just below the pink shade that I applied a while ago. It's not going to be a problem if you feel that you covered the first shades that you applied, because you can always go back to the brush that you used for those and revisit the areas where you put it. This time, I'll be using 2 shades of blue in the palette, and I'll apply that using this flat brush. I'm actually having a little problem, as you can see here on the clip, because it's kind of patchy when I try to put it using the brush, so I just decided to use my fingers for that, and I get another blending brush to make sure that everything is well blended. Here I'm just checking if everything is blended seamlessly. But moving on, I'll be using a shimmery shade of blue and apply that using my fingers as well, because I feel like for the shimmer shades, fingers work really well to apply it. Let me just go ahead and brush off the fallouts, and here I'm just doing the lower lash line, and I'm using the same purple and pink eyeshadows that I used a while ago. Blend, blend, blend! And for the inner corners of my eye, I'll be applying a shimmery baby blue shade using a smaller fluffy blending brush. I am not yet done with the eyes, but I'll finish that later. Here, I'm just going to move on with the blush, and I'm using a hot pink shade of blush and apply that on my cheeks. And I'm pretty generous in applying the blush, and as you can see, I'm putting a lot, but don't freak out. You'll understand why later. And I'm also putting some on the middle of my nose. It's like what we call the drunk blush look. So yeah. I actually forgot to show it, but I used one of the shimmery eyeshadows in the James Charles palette and use it as a highlighter. I'll just put that on the tops of my cheekbones, my cupid's bow, my chin, the bridge of my nose, and anywhere that we highlight. And also my brow bone. Also put a little bit on my inner corners just to amplify the baby blue shade that I put a while ago. I am very sorry guys, but I really can't remember the brand of the face paint that I'm using here, but I just bought it from National Bookstore, and as you can see, it's water activated, so I have to wet it. And I just get like a fluffy brush and wet that as well, and I'm doing this kind of thing, like to put splatter all over my face. I really can't explain what I'm doing here, but yeah, you get the point. Just watch the video. Yes, this is kind of messy, but as you can see here, I'm not yet satisfied with the splatter, so I decided to add more. Using a flat brush and also the face paint, I'll be drawing clouds on my face. You don't really have to be really good at drawing for you to do this part, because to be honest, I'm really not good at drawing, but drawing clouds on my face is really easy with this technique. Just use a flat brush and you're good to go. You can draw as many as you want, and you can put it anywhere you want as well. This time, I'm using a smaller flat brush to draw smaller clouds because I want the clouds to be in different sizes. After drawing the clouds, you can get a fluffy brush and a blue eyeshadow and put some on the clouds that you drew. I am not yet satisfied with how it looks, so I decided to put stars or draw stars on my face as well. We're done with the cheeks, so let's not forget the forehead. I'll be applying the shade of pink, blue, and purple on my forehead, but not that much. And I'll just use a fluffy brush for that. I also decided to add more stars on my eyes, and this is how it looks like. But yeah, we're not yet done. And this is actually the hardest part of this look for me, just for me, because I'm going to draw moon on my forehead, and I really struggled making sure that I got the shape right and make sure that the lines are precise. It actually took me time to perfect it, though it's really not perfect in the end, but I think it looks better. Going back to the eyes, it's time for me to put some liner on, and I decided to create a wing liner. And yeah, focus. I don't want to mess up. So as you can see, I'm out of frame. If if you're looking for an affordable and a very black eyeliner, I highly recommend this one that I'm using, which is from Careline. So moving on, I'll be curling my lashes and apply a few coats of mascara. Do not forget to put mascara on the lower lashes as well, because it opens up the eye and completes the look. But I'm not yet done because I have to put false eyelashes, so let me just do that off camera. I am back and better than ever. Just kidding, but here it is. As you can see, I didn't use an overly dramatic false eyelashes. I just used the simple ones. And that's it for the eyes. It's time for me to move on with the lips. And I'm just going to use a nude shade for my lips. It doesn't really matter since I'm going to cover that with glitter, but I'll just apply that on my lips. And this is how it looks like. And I'll be using this palette or glitter palette. And I'll put that on my lips. I actually used the light pink shade, the purple shade, and the baby blue shade on my lips. I mixed them all together. Yes, there are a lot of fallouts, but you can just easily brush it off with any powder brush. And I'm just going to retouch the moon that I draw. Yes, it's not perfect, but please bear with me. I'm not really good at drawing, but I am done. Let me just go ahead and take this time to pose because I am really happy with how this look turned out. It's actually better than what I expected. So here it is, and if you're planning to do the same makeup look, go ahead. You can practice this before Halloween, and you can take selfies. Please don't forget to tag me on my social media accounts. You can see it in the description box below. But thank you so much guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like this, comment below on what videos I should do next, and share this video as well. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to be notified every time I upload new videos. Have a great day everybody, and please stay safe. Bye!